the Oracle Report, special report for Monday, September 2nd, 2019. Witness the fall of the New World Order. Witness the war in heaven manifested on earth, specifically on the southeast coast of the United States. This report is going to be a little bit different. It's a freestyle report, and I am not going to be commenting on the destruction or lack thereof that the Hurricane Dorian is in process of. I'm not going to be focusing on that or putting any fear into that. Instead, I'm going to talk about what's really going on and what's happening at a higher level, because this is a monumental time. And what we're seeing happening now is the beginning of the end. This is why the title of this recording is The Alpha and the Omega. Now, the Mahavidyas began speaking Saturday, and the message unfolded throughout the weekend, and that is where the theme, the Alpha and the Omega, comes from. I am going to be covering today's astrology and the Sabian symbols therein as it relates to this story. So if you are not in the U.S. or have in the U.S. and have been having your holiday weekend, or if you're west of the Mississippi, and as it is with many people west of the Mississippi, you don't really pay as close of attention what's happening on the East Coast. Sometimes I find that Europeans and Australians and New Zealanders are more aware of what's going on than people out on the west coast of the U.S. Not wise owls. Wise owls are always on duty, but it is not necessarily this event, it's what this event is marking. All right. This is a spell, and it is a spell that is going to backfire 10 million fold on the archons, because, let me detail, the culmination or the buildup of all of the efforts of warriors of the light since 2012 has been building up and building up and building up to respond now. If you remember, if you listened to my New Moon in Virgo recording, I talked about the Mahavidya, the wisdom goddess Shadashi, was coming back into this full force with a punch in response, and that it would continue in the Libra cycle as it always does every year. This year, much more forcefully than ever. We have a lot of astrology that is impacting and causing even, allowing opportunity for all of this to happen. What we're seeing, because what we're seeing now is the marking point of time, the beginning and the end. Now, remember, this year, this whole astrological year, is the Sabian symbol for 16 Aries, which is fairies dancing in the setting sun. I've been saying it all year, all the time since then. This is sunset on the New World Order. Right now, what they are doing is doubling down, cashing it in, laying it down with everything they have, because they have to. And in response to that, as I said, all of the efforts, all of that good energy and love of the light warriors, for lack of a better term, not that that term is lacking in any way, now the archons pay the price. All right, they're going to play it, and then now they're going to pay the price. It's their doing. It's their own doing. Sophia has spoken. The archons are being brought to heal. Heal, H-E-E-L, and heal, H-E-A-L. They now pay the price of their actions. What we're seeing the beginning of now, we're going to see the manifestation of in January, when Saturn and Pluto make conjunction. Right now, what we're witnessing is the time when humanity out-evolves and splits apart from archontic energies. Many things answer the question, why now? Because that's always our question, isn't it? Why now? The radio bursts. Did you catch that story, that narrative? And the spin that is from a pulsar. It's not from a pulsar, it's from the archons. It's a frequency that's been emitted down to us. And now, a space age love song occurs in response, and Sophia answers specifically in E flat minor, in the harmonic of E flat minor, to put an end, to bring the end, to bring the downfall. That's what this is. We are witnessing their downfall because they're making their karma right now. And it will be instantaneous, the crescendo, the fall that comes next. We are going to go and see. If you think it's been crazy days and nights until now, wait until we get to January. Between now and January, that's no fear. That's just keeping it real. I just deliver the message. Today, the sun is conjunct Mars. That means amplified energy. And in our electric model here, electromagnetic model of our dimension, when two luminaries resonate the same degree, it produces a lot of energy in the dimension, in the atmosphere, in the ground, everywhere, in us. The conjunction of the sun and Mars today is at 11 Scorpio, a boy molded in his mother's aspirations for him. Sophia is the mother of the archons. They are part of her. Now she's spoken. Now the time is up. Now the consequences of actions occur. So at the same time, Mercury is rapidly coming up from behind to conjunct with the Sun and Mars. And for us, this means that we are getting an important message. Mercury delivers the messages. Overall, it is an attempt by the archons to destroy hope. But really what is happening is light catapults forward. At the same time, the Earth is discharging 11 Pisces, which is the Sabian symbol of men traveling a narrow path, seeking illumination. With this, part of that illuminating journey is the rejection of what's unworthy and the turning away from the base instincts that the archons always try to manipulate us into expressing. One of the things that these energetics do is supercharge the nervous system of humans, puts it on overload. This is happening as Venus is in square to Jupiter, and Jupiter is trining that new moon in Aries. Jupiter expands and it destroys. Now it is beginning to electrically link up with that new moon, that all important new moon in Aries, to deliver more energy for that, whatever the goal of that energy is. 16 Aries, fairies dancing in the setting sun. Venus is there to help. Venus is discharging 16 Virgo, which is children crowd around the orangutan cage at the zoo. This is about karmic confrontations. It's facing down darkness. Jupiter's discharging 16 Sagittarius. Seagulls fly around a ship looking for food. It's about rejecting what's unworthy. Part of the energetics today is the moon in Libra moving into Scorpio, and that will happen at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the moon is transiting and has been for the last couple of days opposite the Eris point, the mother archetype, the mother of all archetypes, the mother of all degrees, dare I say. This means that when the moon moves into Scorpio, it's going to begin also to oppose Uranus, the electrical planet, the planet of change, sudden, unexpected events, accidents, catastrophic, catastrophes. Yes, that's the word. It brings catastrophes, but it brings the silver lining of that later. Not that that is really any great comfort now. Uranus does what it needs to do in the moment, and we adjust to what it does. Uranus directs us and moves us where we need to be. So Uranus isn't just any place in the sky, it's at its own little special place. It's in conjunction with the Chiron point, the wounded healer and teacher. Healing it all up, putting the archons to heal, and us learning and gaining wisdom from it. The Alpha and the Mega theme is echoed also with the nodes and the nodes of the moon, the north node and the south node, moving into a square with that all important new moon in Aries degree. This is going to occur overnight, Tuesday night, 1:11 a.m. Wednesday morning, Eastern Time, 1:11 a.m. Wednesday, Eastern Time. So Tuesday overnight. The north node is going to move to 16 Cancer. The south node will move to 16 Capricorn. And the nodes bring our destiny. The nodes do represent the Alpha and the Mega. The north node is destiny, the future. The south node is the past, karma. South node is in conjunction with Saturn, planet of karma. While they're both in conjunction with Pluto, the transformer. Before Mercury makes conjunction with the Sun and Mars, it'll be discharging the Sabian symbol of an expressionist painter making a futuristic drawing. This is the projection of plans. This is things happening ahead of their time. They happen now and then they manifest later. This energy is going to break the archetypes of the archons. All of this is a spell. All of this is action, counter, reaction. One example of this is Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart. Dave Chappelle makes a move, archons counter, Kevin Hart. And if you don't know about the history of Malibu and what happens there, that's a long story. We have Kevin Hart in Malibu, heart, the human heart. In Malibu, and he's broken. The Eris archetype intimately involves black comedies, African American people, slavery. Look at my book, Eris. I wrote it over a decade ago. Look at the back, it's free online, oraclereport.com. The back of the book, in one of the appendices, you'll see all of the things that the planet Eris rules, all of the archetypal energies. The goal today is what Andrew sent around on his email this morning. It's a quote by John Wooden. Make each day your masterpiece. Life is now. And Sheila Zelinsky tweets today, in kind, quote, "It's up to us to break generational curses. When they say it runs in the family, you tell them this is where it runs out. Can I get an amen?" Unquote. Yes. Amen. The line of William Walker evolves out of the Walker line and thus lifts it up. The same is for you in your line. And I'm rather serious today. It's a serious day. It's a day where we're going to amp up the love in your heart and remembering that truth and love prevails, and what we are seeing is the end and the beginning. The end of the archons. The archons do not get to do this anymore. Amen. We are not victims, we are victors. Again, we will amp up the love today. That means do something you love to do. That means show somebody you love them. That means tell people you love them. And the rest is being taken care of at a higher level. Rest assured, my friends. All of our love is centered on everyone who is in the midst of this storm. And we love you. And I love all of you, and I'll see you tomorrow.